Jackson Radio Show.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Kevin Jackson here. KJRadio.com 24/7. Anytime you want to check us out, you can go there. So, hey, I learned something new about Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. We looked at her donor base. Many of the top 100 donors to the controversial Democratic representative are foes of and sometimes the targets of President Trump, including the NFL, Planned Parenthood, the liberal leftist trade unions. Wilson, who has accused the White House of racism and insensitivity in a call to the Gold Star family, gobbled up thousands of dollars from insurance firms too. This is according to campaign finance data. So Wilson has gotten money from Planned Parenthood, the trade unions, both of whom are anti-black. Undoubtedly, they're anti-black. The unions were set up to keep blacks from working. Planned Parenthood was set up to kill black people. In the NFL, I don't know. Make them rich, then make them poor, maybe. But those two, the Planned Parenthood and the trade unions, I don't find unusual because they're counterintuitive to black support. There's no reason we should support either, and yet we do. And that's why Frederica Wilson and members of the Congressional Black Caucus are the stooges of the unions and Planned Parenthood. That's just the facts. They do the dirty work. Planned Parenthood can't tell you, hey, look, we want to kill black people. It's really that simple. They wouldn't get any donations. People would be, that's appalling. The left would leave them in droves. The right has already left them. We don't care about them. We think they're a heinous group. And the unions want blacks to have menial jobs. They don't. Look at the unions. Look at the leadership of the unions. Look at how they're run. They are run truly mafioso style. And like the mafia, there weren't that many black people leading a mafia family. In fact, I hate to say this. I don't want to spoil anybody from watching these mafia films, but there's not many black people in mafia films. And usually when there are, they get killed. Yeah. So, what do you want me to say? There's no future with the unions for blacks. None. There's only one black executive in the union. His name is Jerry Hudson that I know of. I don't know if Jerry's still with SEIU, but he was. And he plainly said, I was on Cavuto talking about this guy years ago, and he plainly said, black people are stupid. I can have them do whatever I want in the union. And there was the Republicans didn't even seize on it. It's hard to believe. They could have run an ad and say, hey, black people, here's what a dude who's risen within the union ranks said about you. I'm just saying. And they could have cut it like a chicken commercial, with a big old thick bass line. Jerry Hudson said black people are stupid. Get a big bass dude reading it, Black people are so stupid. That's what Jerry Hudson said. You sure you want to be union? And get some fried chicken. That's what they do. That's how they advertise to us. So the unions are completely anti-black. So is Planned Parenthood. Neither one of them has the guts to say it, but they are. And black people will vote for them. We got representation, yeah. And Frederica Wilson gladly accepts their money and then goes out and she's pro-union. She's pro-Planned Parenthood. I don't care how many black babies it kills. I don't care about how many jobs the unions take away from blacks, menial jobs they give us, whatever. They don't care. They don't care if the union brings in, allows millions of illegals to come in and take jobs away from poor black folks that are looking for jobs. Racism and insensitivity, though, is what Frederica Wilson says of Donald Trump. And I'm looking at the evidence going, if there's anybody racial and insensitive to black folks, it's the Congressional Black Circus members. In 2016, 22 unions, teachers, and the National Football League gave money to Frederica Wilson. Wow. And President Trump targeted those groups and has been a target of them. But I already told you guys, the money is drying up for the DNC. Now, Frederica might get hers. She might get her cut. because she's out there, helping those anti-black groups. But the DNC is struggling. What else do we want to talk about? Who else is struggling? Here's a story I really like. It has to do with a coffee shop. Anti-police coffee shop closes. Yeah. The owner of and this is what makes this story interesting, is the owner of the shop. The shop is located in Massachusetts. And the owner said she's closing the business because there was a backlash following her daughter's controversial comments about cops on Facebook. Kato Melly, the owner of the year-old White Rose Coffee House in Lynn, Massachusetts, said she was closing the store, quote, so I can stop being harassed. I've lost my business and I've lost my daughter. I don't know how this story just keeps building, but I need people to leave me alone, meal or Millet or whatever. She says, in closing my business so I can stop being harassed. She tried to make amends with police after her daughter, Sophie, the store's manager, wrote on her personal Facebook page last weekend that the business would never host a Coffee with a Cop event. The post started a debate that took a different turn when Sophie called police officers bullies and racist. And in turn, social media users called for people to ban the coffee house. Millet or Meal, whatever she is, she fired her daughter, wrote police an apology calling the remarks distasteful, biased, and hateful. She invited officers to the coffee shop that following Monday for coffee. She says, I don't agree with what she said. It's not my opinion. I should never have been linked to it should never have been linked to my business, and that's where I parted ways with my daughter in regards to the business. The police didn't show up, and neither did regular morning customers. So she's out. Now look, I feel sorry for the mom because her daughter did something stupid, but hey, it's Massachusetts. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But here's what's really most intriguing about the story. It's in Massachusetts. Did I mention that? This is the heart of liberalism. I don't know where Lynn is. It wasn't Boston, but I don't know where Lynn is. Is it a suburb or what? But the people of Massachusetts said, you're not going to disrespect the cops. This isn't Texas, people. This is Massachusetts. How many times have I said that now? This is Massachusetts. Sounds like a rhyme to a song. This is Massachusetts, baby. But that does floor me, that the citizens of Massachusetts would actually band together and take a stance against a liberal idea. We need to find out where Lynn is. Is Lynn like because that's little town stuff. That's not Boston stuff. Boston, I can't imagine that people would have, ostracized this lady. I predict if it was in Boston, she'd have a thriving business with her daughter having done that. But you know what? Goes to show. Her kid. You can't just go willy-nilly making these statements about police without there being some form of penance you're going to have to do. And her mother's having to close the shop. That's a pretty big hit.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.